Yeah. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I was just singing a little Alanis Morissette. Welcome to Nikki Nights. I'm super excited for my chat with Travis Wall. I'm such a big dance fan. Dance is something that always really impressed me because I wasn't really that great at it, and I always wanted to dance, and it was something that always challenged me. And people think I'm a trained dancer, but I'm not. So I'm sure Travis and I are going to talk about that now. I can't wait to bring him in. So welcome to Nikki Nights. I'm so thrilled. Let's go, Mr. Wall. I was just getting this all uploaded, and every day, that's a feat in itself. I just want to take a quick second to just shout out to my team. Sam, Danny, Diana, you guys are killing it. Diana, our publicist, and Sam and Danny, our assistants. Thanks so much. You guys are working incredibly hard. Thanks so much, you guys. I'm really, really, really excited to announce that we are going to be having Colin Mockery on. I'm so excited because I'm a big fan of improv, and I'm on the Quarantine Show, obviously, and that's improv comedy. But you know what's not funny? Travis Wall's dancing, and he's here. So let me bring him in. It's beautiful. Not funny.
Hi.
Hi.
Am I sideways or like?
Yeah, you're. There we go.
Should I keep it like this?
Yes, I mean you're so handsome. I'll tilt my head and give myself some sciatica to look at you.
All right, this is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
How you doing?
You know, like of course, for me, like it's like nothing happens during quarantine, and then of course, they're like one day that something happens, everything's happening at the same time. So it's like I didn't even make it home. I'm at my friend's place. So I was like trying to make it back. I was like, I'm not gonna make it back because there's traffic. Why is there traffic in LA? I have no idea. So I stopped at my friend's place to make it 4:30 on time. So like, got it.
Oh well, thank you. It's beautiful.
That's my friend's place. Yeah, I wish I could like say everything. I wish I could take credit, but I can't.
I just actually sent one of those big orchids, those big white orchids in the back. I sent one to my music mentor, Dr. Levy, for Mother's Day.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, we have lots of flowers at my place because I need to become like more of a plant dad. Usually I just get fake stuff everywhere because I'm traveling so much, but it's like actually no one's traveling anymore, so you can actually take care of the plant.
Yes. I mean, my best friend Gino, he lives in Harlem with his husband Ellie, and he has become the biggest plant dad I've ever seen. There's just plants for days. I'm like, what is happening over there? Do you need oxygen?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, Emmy Award winner, choreographer, dancer, I mean, you do it all, and you do it all incredibly well.
You're very, very, very kind.
No, I'm just very honest.
During these quarantine moments, you kind of like, you're just going to take the compliments these days. And you're like, oh no. I was like, actually, it's like, it just feels good to hear positive things these days.
I was just watching, first of all, I was reading up on you, and I saw that you had done a video of This Is Me, a cover of This Is Me with Shashan. I love her. She's been on my show. I love that woman. What was that like?
So obviously I'm the biggest fan of Shoshana, and we were at a Christmas party. Jesse Tyler Ferguson had a Christmas party, and we had like crossed paths, but we had never like fully had that like, oh my God, I love you so much moment. And we were, where was it? We were sitting and I saw her walk in and I literally go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I just knew halfway through the night that we were going to find a moment for each other. And she dove in first. She was like, this piece and this piece, my mom loves you and this, how's your mom? And da-da-da. And I was like, what? So then we just were like, literally we were attached to the hip all night. And she was like, we have to do something. We have to do something. So I had like gone to a couple concerts of hers and we were trying to figure out, she's coming out with this new jazz album. And she was like, you know, pick a song, any song you want to do, whatever. So then we were at, I think one of her like shows in LA, and she brought up the whole This Is Me story, basically, where she recorded the demo for the song before it was released to the movie, and she like described her relationship with them and everything, and she sang the song, and obviously that it was all donations that she would sell from then on, from that night and on iTunes, that those donations were going to benefit the LGBTQ Center here in Los Angeles. So that she sang this song, and I like literally just had this epiphany. I was like, I call her, I'm like, have you made a video to that song yet? Because that's the one. Like, yeah. And she was like, I had an idea for it, but it's out of the window. Don't worry. She was like, well, she's like, we have to shoot this now. I was like, all right. So took me like 3 days, and I found space in LA. I just completely self-produced, self-directed. It was like, we just, whatever. So found space in LA, told her to show up, know your side. I was like, I literally gave her the track. I was like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to walk around these mirrors. You're going to like think that like I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, like this whole thing. And there's going to be words written on our face. We're going to scratch them off and then write positivity words. And like the whole thing just came together. We had 5 hours to film it, and you know, I wish it could have been better. You know, I feel like I could have done so many other takes, and I could have been, because a lot of it was in one take. So everybody just really came together that day, and it was really beautiful.
Are you kidding me? Let me read to you the DM that I wrote to her after I watched it. It literally says, "Are you kidding me, Bean? I can't with you. That voice is heaven. I have chills, my sister. Sending you so much love." I mean, it was insane. I got chills, no lie. I texted to my entire team, and I was like, just everybody take like however 4 minutes and just stop what you're doing, because this is just too beautiful.
No, thank you again so much. I'm like, yeah, we got me and her got to do more. I was like, girl, we're not done. We got that more.
Absolutely. I mean, I also read that you've been dancing since the age of 3. I've been singing since the age of 3.
So we're very alike. My mom was my dance teacher. What'd you say?
I said it's something in those beginning years.
You know, I think that my dance career started before I was born. You know what I mean? I feel that, you know, I am my mom's protege in that way, where I had this concept, and maybe scientists can prove me if I'm wrong, but you know, ever since I was growing in my mom's stomach, whenever music came on, she was teaching dance. So whenever music was on, my mom was moving. Yeah. So from this big, like a little bean, whenever there was vibrations, I felt like I was feeding off the vibrations of the music. And so whenever music was on, I was physically moving as well. So, you know, my mom taught me in her stomach up until like 4 days before she actually gave labor. She taught every day. So, you know, for me, I think it's just instilled in my bloodstream. So again, like I have a really hard time sitting still when music plays. My bones crave and have to move. You can't really keep me still. So like obviously in class growing up, thank God I was a really great like honor roll student, but like if there was something going on, I could not keep my feet still in class, and teachers just had to end up dealing with it, because I was like, this is just gonna happen. Like I'm gonna be tapping my feet, and I have to dance at all times growing up. So that was basically like my upbringing.
I love that. I mean, and of course you mentioned your mom had the school, and I was thinking about that, and that's awesome. Unfortunately, I am like the only one in my family that is in the business or creative in that way. So it can be a little bit hard to explain or have them understand why we work so hard or why we do what we do for what we love.
100%. You know, I'm very grateful and fortunate to be able to have a dance family like that, where you know, I didn't have to worry about someone accepting me at home because I was a dancer. Eventually, like as I got older, I just had to worry about people accepting me because I was gay, and that's just a whole other thing. But like at least I got to come home, and you know, the dinner table we talked about dance. That's it. It was pretty much it, because like, you know, I had 5 brothers. Sorry, 4 brothers. There was 5 of us growing up at one point, and we all have some sort of connection or relationship with dance at some point of our lives, and have maybe now taken that relationship with dance and turned it into something else. But there's still a creative entertainment aspect to what everyone's chosen to do as grown-ups.
I love that. I love when you have like a common ground that you can share something. That's really dope. I was also watching your piece to Collide by Hallie Day.
We're throwing back the old ones.
So amazing. See, you don't understand. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
When we filmed Hairspray.
Oh, I'm going to give you a full story about this, but go ahead.
Adam Shankman used to hold every Wednesday night. It was a So You Think You Can Dance party. Religiously.
Yeah.
When we were rehearsing. So all summer long, we would all go over to his house. And I am now watching So You Think You Can Dance with some of the most incredible dancers in the world and choreographers. And I don't know what in the world they're doing. I was like, act like you know what they're talking about. Yep, that's amazing. Oh, so beautiful. I was like, what is that called? I mean,
yeah.
it's
I had so many friends. I had so many friends that were in the cast with you during Hairspray. And that was 2006. So I was filming the show. I was a contestant on So You Think. And I would get like screenshots of everybody being like, hey, we're all supporting you, like here in Canada. Because you guys shot what, Toronto?
Toronto, yep.
Yeah, you're like, we're all supporting you. And I was like, I didn't even know who Adam was. I didn't know who you guys were. Like, I just had like, I had like the Nick Baga, and who else was in that cast? There's so many, Spencer and other people that like I would get a text being like, hey, we're supporting you tonight. So to know that Adam was setting that up, like the year after when I finally met Adam, he was like, oh, don't worry, we had full So You Think You Can Dance parties. We were rooting for you the entire time. Oh, yeah. I just thought that was so cool. And then to find out that like you were watching it, you were part of it, I was like, because obviously when the movie came out, you smashed so hard.
Oh, thanks. Would you believe I never danced a day in my life before that movie? Dancing to me was always something that I wanted to do. The cool kids in school or at rehearsal did it, and it just didn't. Yeah. It didn't come easy to me. So, I mean, when I tell you that I spent 8 hours a day in a room with Zach Woodley, with no air conditioning, with just a window and a fan, we went hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It was the most fun of my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like to get into it if you're not used to it. But it's just like for me, if I were to sing in front of somebody, or like, I mean, I haven't sung in so long, but it's when you're so insecure about like the judgment of others, like then you're having a hard time actually like just breathing and be like, wait, I need to go through this to get to where I need to get to. Like instead of just trying to worry about the arrival and the destination, you're like, wait, I've got to do this journey first. But that's about breaking down and finding the confidence to be able to do so. But when you feel like, I've got to be here, but I don't want to do this to get there because I'm afraid of what people are going to hear or see, it's really hard.
I was really blessed on that cast, though, especially with the dancers. They were so supportive. Because I remember having to dance Ladies' Choice with all of those boys, Philip Spade,
yeah.
Spencer Liff, Nick Baga, all of these guys that are just literally some of the best dancers, everyone. And I was just floored. And I have a music mentor, Dr. Levy, who I talk about all the time. And she was like, she always used to tell me, Nikki, just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And
for sure.
I was like, I have to do it. But one person that was very supportive of me that you know, Mr. Anthony Carr, you went to
oh yeah, Anthony. I have the best picture of Anthony because, okay, so obviously you knew that we went to like middle school, high school together in New York City.
Yeah.
So I moved to New York City by myself when I was 12 years old to do the Music Man. And I went to the school called PPAS, Professional Performing Arts High School. And Anthony, I believe, was a grade older or 2 grades older than me. So we're up for like our 8th grade class picture. And like our 8th grade class, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like, it's very like pre-poor Gossip Girl. Like we're like this group of people that are put together. So we're all so different, but there's like a society in it. There's like a high class, you know, it's just like every other high school ever. And we're all taking the picture. And all of a sudden, I just feel this presence jump in the picture with us. And we get the picture back. And freaking Anthony Carr, he's just like right next to me, just like pops in our picture. It wasn't in our grade at all. And then obviously when we moved to LA, we were like, oh wait, and we remember like, wait, didn't we go to high school together? And then we became friends like that because then we were kind of the only people in that class that ever kind of moved out to LA and and danced, honestly, like that had made something of a dance career, because kind of everybody went off into their own like different things, because we were all there for performing arts, you know. And so
Yeah.
he's definitely someone I randomly see. I'm like, wow, middle school, high school days.
I mean, he, if first of all, he is a presence. That is the perfect word. He is
Yeah.
a force of nature, that kid. And I was just FaceTiming him with him this afternoon. He killed me. Like, I've never met anybody who goes to the beat of their own drum. So,
Yeah, for sure.
and nobody makes me laugh like him. He just,
Yeah, for sure. So good.
dancing men, I swear, just
We're
steal the heart.
we're a different breed, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, now getting them nominated for the Emmy, what was that like? And where were you when you found out?
Which time? Like just any time, the first time?
Well, yeah, the first time.
I mean, I'll be very honest. It never gets old. Obviously the first time is you like, you know, you're creating for different reasons. And I was on the show. I watched, you know, mentors of mine, you know, Wade Robson, Andy Michaels. I watched them win Emmys for work that they really cared and created about. And I, you know, started working for the show as a choreographer, as a contestant. So I was always like, you know, people get nominated all the time for the show. You're just like, is this ever going to happen for me? Is this a possibility? Like, you know, the show's very known for its getting Emmy nominated and winning Emmys. So I was definitely in the eye to be nominated. And it took me my second year. I finally got nominated, and I was nominated for pieces that were like rip my guts on, and that's what's on the dance floor. It was like my mom had just gone through like her first round of chemo and cancer, and she almost died from it. And I created a piece for her because I couldn't be there with her at the time, because I was choreographing on the show and she was in the hospital. And then like there's a piece about like this relationship I had, and there's a new relationship I was having. So it was just very like me on the dance floor. And that's what got me my first nomination. And of course, like, you know, you sob and you cry. And I'm not trying to like brag, or there's no ego involved here, but I've been nominated every year since then, and it's been 9 consecutive years. So it's really cool that I kind of have like that record of being consecutively nominated. But there's something that just happened this past month. I choreographed an off-Broadway show in New York City last fall, and there's award seasons right now where they kind of start combining off-Broadway and Broadway, called like the Drama Desk Awards. And I was 12 years old on Broadway, and I watched my director and choreographer like get nominated for those awards and win those awards. And I was 12 years old, and I was like, I want to win that award someday. And so when I got that nomination, which was like 3 weeks ago, especially during this weird freaking time that we're all living in, like I literally fell onto the knees, like full hinge drop to the knees, like sobbing. And just like that to me was more of a dream of mine than like an Emmy ever, because I never thought when you're 12 years old, like, oh yeah, you can win it. It was never a thing. I saw this like happen for me, but it happened in front of me when I was 12 years old. So something like this, and obviously like my next goal in the next 5 to 10 years is to win a Tony and to do those things. And so it was just kind of like a nice wraparound moment to my childhood, and remembering how I got my career started when I was 12.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Don't ever let anybody tell you. There's a big difference between confidence and cocky. Big difference. Massive.
Yeah.
I am very confident. And people are mistaken sometimes. And I had somebody once tell me, a friend of mine, an old friend, not a friend anymore, she said to me, you don't have to tell me what you do for a living. I know what you do. We don't have to talk about Hairspray. And I said, let me tell you something. People talk about what they know because it's self-soothing. It's human nature. We don't want to talk about the things we're bad at. So with Hairspray, I choose to talk about it. You should be so proud, and I'm sure you are, of those nominations. And when people talk to me about my Golden Globe, I have no problem telling them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make somebody make me feel bad because I worked my ass off. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think for me, I love talking about my journey and my life like that. But for me, like when someone's like, "And we've got," I always get, I cringe. I don't know what it is when someone like does like a fact or a superlative or an honor, or they're talking about something external, not internal. I get super, especially like if I'm on stage and they say it to me and everyone can see my react. I get so like introverted. I'm like,
Well,
okay,
it's the
just
difference between telling a story and telling a fact. If you
yeah,
tell
yeah,
me
yeah,
that you're nominated for 1,000,005 Tonys, I'm like, okay. But if you
yeah,
tell me this is how I got nominated, then I want to know. You know,
yeah, for sure,
the
for sure.
story of you falling down. Did I tell you what I did when I got nominated?
No.
Oh my God. I ended up, uh, I think his name was Gino from the Scoop or something. I don't 30 Rock as well. He literally coined the term "Blonsky in your house."
Yeah,
I was in Toronto up there rehearsing for a concert with the Dallas Game and Choir, and all of a sudden, New Line Cinema said, "We're sending up the publicist because you're going to get nominated for a Golden Globe." I said, "You're nuts." I did not believe it. I got on a plane, went to Canada. They're like, "You can't leave New York." I said, "I have a job to do. I go
yeah,
to this concert." I went there, trained with my coach, and they said, "We're sending a crew." There were crews in the lobby, and they said to me, there was a knock at the door, and it was our PPK woman, Sharon, who had been on set with us, Sharon.
yeah,
And she was like, "You have to let me film this." And I said, "Absolutely not." I said, "If I don't get nominated, I don't want to watch it."
yeah, yeah.
And she was like, "Okay." And she stood outside and she knew me because my hair was in a wet bun. I had no makeup on, in my pajamas. My family was there, and they all of a sudden, it was like 2 seconds till. And I opened the door. I said, "Get in here, because if I ever have kids and this shit really does happen, I need evidence." So she came in and she stood behind the TV, and I just remember hearing Hayden Panettiere say, for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical, Nikki Ponzi. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's so cool.
And I took the glass
You
coffee.
know, I actually heard Hayden say the same thing about me, Best Actress in a Comedy, and she said my name, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. You know, my name's
You
Nick.
have to stop making a habit of that, though.
Yeah.
She, I mean, but I took a glass coffee table, Travis, a massive, full glass coffee table, and I threw it. I couldn't contain my joy. I was so
You're dangerous.
yes, yes. I mean, I couldn't contain it. But when you're filled with that much excitement,
I listen. I know the feeling. That's amazing.
what?
Did you hurt?
What?
Did you hurt yourself? Did you hurt anybody? Did you hurt yourself?
I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't hurt myself. I mean, my ego wasn't even bruised when I came out on TV. I was just like, "That's me."
Yeah.
No apologies.
I love it.
Who was a mentor for you? You mentioned Wade Robson, that was on the show. Who was somebody that you were?
You know, when I was like 14 to, I mean, honestly, till now, one of my teachers, his name is Jason Parsons. I was always very inspired by him. It kind of took me under his wing a little bit too. Wade definitely took me under his wing. I got my first assisting jobs from him, and was able to choreograph on So You Think You Can Dance because of him, because they saw me working for him and they saw that I was responsible and I was not just a little kid anymore, and I have stuff to say. I obviously, looked up to Mia Michaels as well growing up. Yeah, there's a few,
Absolutely. Mia is going to be on. I'm so excited.
Oh, yay. Give her a big squeeze for me.
I will.
Yes.
What was a number that, or a number that you just remember that just really inspired you?
A number of mine?
Or of somebody else's.
Really inspired me. I think on my season, doing Ramalama Bang Bang, that was our like top 10 group number. It was the first time working with Wade. You have this like, for me, I studied like the Britney Spears Dream Within a Dream tour since I was like 14, 15. I had that VHS, and you don't think I broke the tape by watching it so many times? I definitely did. And this whole idea was out of Wade Robson's head. He was 16 years old. I just couldn't believe that we were like 2 years apart, and I just didn't understand how I'm in Virginia Beach at the ballet bar, and this guy is choreographing these creative, massive mind concepts for Britney Spears. I was just like, how? So then meeting him was like very extraordinary to me, and then watching him create Ramalama and just where the movement was coming from and how he was giving life to something that was dead, and then it was kind of like he just always for me inspired looking at an object and bringing life to that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just about a person, and for me everything I was doing was about relationships or about like whatever, but he would look at something and go, how does that move? And he would embody that, an object or a picture or something. And that to me, when he opened up that compartment in my brain, is when my brain actually exploded. So I have to like really give it to him, because he really opened up my eye to what movement is. And that cup of tea over there, how does that cup of tea move? And you're like, oh wait. And then you actually, it's just like he really I keep saying he really opened up my mind, and I just became the biggest fan of his, and I wanted to live inside his brain.
I love that.
Yeah.
Really cool. That's really, really cool, especially when when your idols or somebody that you look up to now becomes your friend. That's kind of how I feel with Ricky. She was always like somebody that I looked up to immensely. Yeah. And then to work with her. When I met her on set, they didn't tell me she was there. And I walked up to the trailer, makeup. It was like 4 a.m. I was ready to go for the day. Open the door, and I went like this. Nope. And I just shut her. And I just said, nope. And I went back to my trailer, and they said, what are you doing? I said, I cannot go. No, Blake isn't there. They said, yeah, in there. And, so it's really, really cool.
Yeah. Ricky's so sweet. She's actually like, we'll text my mom randomly. They became, I guess, close friends because Ricky was on Dancing with the Stars, and they said something about like Ricky's shoulders, and someone made a comment like, you should ask Denise Small how to get your shoulders down. My mom was like, got it. Like, so then they started connecting. It was really cute.
I love that. I would love to do a piece, me, you, and Ricky. That would be fun.
Of course. I mean, I'm all ears for that one.
Oh my gosh. But where's been one of your favorite places too that you traveled to because of dance?
I mean, Australia. I love Australia so much, but I first was brought out there for dance, and now it's just my favorite place to go, and I go 3 times a year, even though Australia's cut off their borders and no visitors for a year, which is so sad, because I literally go 2 to 3 times a year. Where else for dance? Yeah, I guess everywhere else I've really gone, like it's been for leisure, and I wanted to explore something. So, work has really only brought me to Australia and London. Everywhere else I've ever visited has been for vacation. So, I've always wanted to work more internationally. I always run into the problem where I'm just so busy in the States. So it was just like I had a hard time getting away or booking something, because I was like, well, what if this show comes up, and then these are the season I do this, and what if this? Like, there's just so many things that are like, you just never know where like things are gonna drop. It's very different these days. Trust me. I mean, everyone's like, oh, when's everything starting back up? But before all this like craziness happened, I just felt like I had a hard time booking something in another country so far in advance, not knowing if I was gonna actually be available for it.
I was actually supposed to work with this man. He was the producer of the Olympics when the Olympics were in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And he was directing Hairspray down there in Australia. I was supposed to do it, and then I got huge for ABC Family. And I had to make the tough decision.
Yeah, those things, it's like a shoulda, woulda, coulda, and you're like, you know what, they all it all makes sense at the end, like why certain things happen, you know? Do you have burn? You got a cough? Not corona. I know, it's like you start choking on your water, you start choking on something, and you're afraid to cough because you don't want people to look at you. You're like, why are you outside? You're like, I'm sorry. Oh my god, so good.
I have tears.
Oh my god, you were really trying to hold it in. Oh no.
I mean, you know when something just goes down the wrong way, like you drink it too easy, but then it
Yeah.
makes it worse, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Do you need to take a second? I feel so bad. You're like crying.
No. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Okay. I got it. Oh Lord, Travis.
Where are you at right now? Are you in are you in Canada?
I have to laugh because I can't believe I just had like an absolute like.
You look great doing it though. I'll give you that.
Oh God. Well, I'm trying to hold it together. But
Yeah.
I'm in Long Island.
You're in Long Island.
Yeah.
How's it over there?
Well, it's at that weird part of the year where it's like ready to like do spring, but it doesn't know yet. So it's like I'm gonna like pee rain all over you.
Yeah.
And it's humid today. It's nice though. I mean, it has its moments.
I quarantined in New York for the first 31 days.
It's a whole other.
It's just New York it's so different than it is out here in LA. So like I was eventually, thank God, work was like, I need you in LA, please come. And thank God I got out, because like when I got out, like that's where I felt like, okay, quarantine part 2 starts.
Yeah.
And to be very honest, people in New York are taking it way more seriously than people here in LA. Like, so it's a little different. But in New York, like I was glued to my West Village apartment. Like I saw 1 or 2 people because we were in the same like block, and we were called like quarantine buddies. They have them in your like quarantine bubble, and that was it. In LA, I mean, there's things happening. You're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. I mean, obviously people are wearing masks and everything, but like I was afraid to see anybody. Like the anxiety, especially we had like a couple cases in my building, so I was afraid to get in the elevator. Like I had so much anxiety just being in New York City, thinking that I was gonna get it or I was gonna get someone else sick, or that it was just. But in LA, like the stress and anxiety is way less. And like sunlight, game changer. Being able to drive, like when I got in my car, I started crying. So it was like I had been like in this like little box for a month.
Yes.
And it was insane. So.
Well, I mean, good old New York. It really is a concrete jungle, and
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely has that vibe. So I can see how you would think or feel that being here, like it was being here in New York, maybe it's more possible to be spread because it's so tight quarters. LA, it just kind of makes sense. And I know that's not how it works. I know.
But things are more spread out here. Everything's bigger in general. You know what I mean? Like if the parks are closed, but the median on San Vicente is just as big as Christopher Street Square Park. So it's like the parks are closed, but you can still go sit on the median. You still feel like you're in a park in New York City.
Yeah, it is a park in New York City. It's a park for us, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love your tattoos, by the way. I have like 11, and nobody ever knows that.
11. Wow, that's a big number.
It's a big number. It's a weird number. I don't know if I'm gonna probably cap it at like 15. I think.
Okay. Mine, I can't count anymore because they start to bleed or connect, or they've evolved in ways of covers, and they've all like mutated together. So once quarantine's lifted, first thing I'm doing is going back to my tattoos, and full legs all the way up, full back. I'm excited.
You want to hear a weird story?
Go for it.
Strange how things work out. I go and I get a tattoo of a 3 with a crown because 3 is my friend and I's favorite number. We both got it together. And the crown stands for a movie we did together called Queen Size. okay, we go and we get it for my 19th birthday. Great. I guess about a year and a half after I'm out in LA, and Anthony and I are hanging out, and I go, let me see your arm. He has a 3 with a crown on it. I'm like,
What if I was like, oh my God, amazing.
I mean, what are the chances of that?
Oh my God. It's fate. That's what it is. I love that shit. It makes me so excited. Like, ugh, this means like everything's supposed to be where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. What's a
I love
dream? What's a dream? Somebody you would love to work with. You haven't worked with.
You know, my dream is still Beyonce. I love her so much, and you know, I really hope the day, like maybe like 5 to 10 years from now, where I can just go in and just like just reinvent, just give her something like super fresh. That it'd just be so exciting. I'm the biggest fan of her, everything she does. I'm just like, you know, I love Christine and the Queens. I obsessed with her concert. She did this concert in Brooklyn, and I cried. Just like sitting in, just watching her. She faced upstage during this one part, and she wasn't singing. The light was hitting her back. She was just like moving from her back, and I was like, who? And no, I was like, I was like screaming to everybody. I was like, this is the best part. This is an artist. Like screaming.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with her, so yes, her as well.
I love that. I mean, I always say, like, you have to stay hungry, and you have to, you know, like, yes, I've made some fun movies, but I want to keep going. You know, I always tell people, I'm like, people are like, when do you want to retire? I'm like, are you kidding? I want to drop that in the movie set. You know, like, let me go out doing what I love.
Oh my God. Oh, Nikki, this has been so fun. It's my roommate's birthday, so I gotta go make her feel
Happy
special.
birthday. Can I tell you something funny? I thought that I didn't know that was the dog walking behind you. And
it's my friend's couch, just like roaming around here.
I thought it was your friend, like trying to get something from the room. And I was like, does he know that his friend is crawling behind him on his hands and knees? He doesn't have to do that. He can just, and then I was like, that as a tail, that's not a friend. I mean, a different type of friend.
A better role play here, yeah.
Well, happy birthday to your roommate.
Oh, I love that. Nikki, thank you so much. This was so fun.
Thank you. You're the best. I'm just going to keep being the biggest Travis Wall fan.
Oh, you're the best. And I will be the biggest Nikki fan. I promise.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness, let's see. There we go. We did it. We made it happen. Oh wow. What an epic chat with Travis. I mean, we definitely both started really getting into it at 3, but then he, you know, and he's totally right. When it's in your body, it's in your body. When it's in your blood, it's in your blood. It was clearly in him, and singing was in. Thank you, Travis Wall. You 792,000 Emmy nominated choreographer. You're incredible. I really enjoyed my time with you. Today has been a wonderful day, guys. I've talked to 3 incredibly just brilliant and insightful human beings, and I feel incredibly lucky that I get to talk to all of my guests daily, a different guest each day. And when people are like, why are you doing 5 shows a week? Isn't that a lot? No, it's not a lot. It's fun, is what it is. I'm having the best time doing Nikki Nights for you guys, and your support just means the world. So, an epic day. Hopefully, I'm going to go have an epic salad. And I bid you all adieu. Thanks for hanging in there with us while we hang out with you. Till tomorrow, friends.